How was he, Srila Shukadev, the son of Vyas, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapur, now Delhi? After wandering in the provinces of Kuru and Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded. Purport. The present city of Delhi was formerly known as Hastinapura because it was first established by King Hasti. Goswami Shukadev, after leaving his paternal home, was roaming like a madman, and therefore it was very difficult for the citizens to recognize him in his exalted position. A sage is not therefore recognized by sight but by hearing. One should approach a sadhu or great sage not to see but to hear him. If one is not prepared to hear the words of a sadhu, there is no profit. Shukadev Goswami was a sadhu who would speak on the transcendental activities of the Lord. He did not satisfy the whims of ordinary citizens. He was recognized when he spoke on the subject of Bhagavatam, and he never attempted jugglery like a magician. Outwardly he appeared to be a retarded, dumb madman, but in fact he was the most elevated transcendental personality. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminithi Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschate Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. How was he, Srila Shukadev Goswami, Srila Shuka, the son of Vyasa, recognized by the citizens when he entered the city of Hastinapura, now Delhi, after wandering in the provinces of Kuru Jangala, appearing like a madman, dumb and retarded? So Srila Shukadev Goswami, he would pretend to be dumb, retarded, because normal people, they always want to speak about worldly topics or some material activities. So just to discourage people, he didn't speak. He didn't speak and pretended not to even hear. So then he was left alone in his bhajan. As it says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 13, that text 8 to 12, there it speaks about knowledge. So it's saying aspiring to live in a solitary location. General detachment from the general mass of people. This is knowledge, because most people came to this world for sense gratification. And when we take an aim that we want to advance, it's different. We are different than others. And so we have to keep separate. Otherwise we can, or they can change our mind. We are still not pure, so we are under impression of people. Shukadev Goswami was wandering in the provinces of Kuru and Jangala. And so the sage is asking that, because even when he came to speak Bhagavatam, he was appearing like a dumb and deaf person, not wearing anything. So it's mentioned that people were following him, making fun of him. They could not tell. So in this way, how was he recognized? They are asking. Prabhupada explained here how it is. There's a saying that a fool is not recognized so long as he just doesn't speak. If he doesn't speak, we'll not know he's a fool. He'll be wearing some, attractive attire, looking like someone elevated, but as soon as he talks, you can understand he's foolish person. Similarly, opposite is true. Like a sage, some sadhu, where he is recognized by sight. By sight, when one sees him, when someone sees, it's not so much, you cannot really tell. But when they start to speak, what happens when you speak? Then someone knows your mind. Someone can know the mind. What is he thinking? What is in his mind? And then they speak spiritual topics and realization. Amazing, great. And so the benefit comes from a sadhu, from hearing. Also at that time you can understand what he's reading when he speaks. I heard Jadvaita Maharaj explain in a seminar that when someone speaks, then you can understand what he's reading. Or if he's reading, if he's not reading, when he begins to speak. So, just by the hearing, we can know the mind of the sadhu. There is no point in approaching a sadhu if we're not going to hear. We had to be prepared to hear. Because some people come, they seek out a sadhu and just darshan. We came to do your darshan, very nice, and give some donation and that's it. But that there's no benefit much. Some benefit, he's a pure soul. There will be some benefit. But actual benefit is if you hear what he has to say. That people are seeing this is a sage, this is a sadhu. Why? Because he is elevated spiritually and he is realized and he is convinced to follow a path and be detached from material sense gratification. So what is that realization? Let us hear it. That should be the aim. And so the sages, when they saw Shukadev Goswami, they could understand, because again they could understand from the feature. Not everyone can. Generally everyone should understand by the speech, because many people appear as sadhus. What is he saying? What is he speaking? Then we can understand that a sadhu is described, devotee is described, because a sadhu is described defined in Bhagavad Gita in 2 different verses. One of them is Sadhureva Samantavya Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak. That Krishna says, even if one is fallen, apichet suduracharo, and Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak, Sadhureva Samantavya Samya Vivasito Hisa. Even if a person has apichet suduracharo, some bad habit, or he has done some bad thing, some wrong mistake, even if he has done that, but if he's still worshipping me, Ananya Bhav, without interruption, without deviation, then we should understand he's a sadhu. Sadhu is always worshipping Krishna. This is the definition of sadhu, actually. And there's another verse which I can't recall now. It's mentioning about sadhu, main verse in Bhagavad Gita. So there, even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila is explaining about a devotee, sadhu. Titikshava karunika suhurdam sarva dehinam. Titikshava means he's very tolerant. You have to be tolerant if you're going to be a devotee, because everyone will tell you you're wrong and this is a big mistake and you should come back and into material stool life like us. So you have to be tolerant and people won't understand. We are doing something different from them. They can't understand. We wish they understand and they join us, but it's up to them. Everyone's free will. So we have to be tolerant because of this nature of people. Titikshava, karunika, but they are very merciful. Even though they are roaming among people who don't appreciate, we'll still try to spread and preach to them, spread teachings of Krishna, karunika. And we take great austerity, living in an austere way and in different difficult circumstances, so that we are well placed to preach to them mentally, and our sadhana, everything is well. Because, if, for example, someone who says, okay, we're going to live in the ashram, or live in a difficult circumstance without personal space or our own thing, our own, room, or, circumstance like that. So if someone says we live like that, it's quite austere. But we are doing it because we understand that in this way we can remain in good consciousness and be able to propagate the movement in a good way and be fully be Krishna conscious, mind on Krishna, fully Krishna conscious. We hope one day, we pray for that. So karunika, that is out of compassion. We'll take this so that we can be very much well placed to preach. Suhridam sarvadehinam. A sadhu devotee is suhridam sarvadehinam. He's actually very dear to everyone. Prabhupada said that a person who is a devotee, generally everyone will like that person. Devotee, what it means. We say devotee when we put tilak and hold bead bag, but devotee means we follow principles properly and we follow what Prabhupada says, how we should live our life, so then such a person is dear to everyone, automatically becomes dear. So them sarva dehinam. Then ajata shatrava shanta. Who was known as ajata shatrava? Ajata shatru. Who is known as? No, there is somebody who is known as that. In Mahabharata, it says Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj was so great, so pious, so dharmic, that it said ajata shatrava. Of course, some people are so envious that he had to fight a war against them. That was a different thing. But you can imagine that everyone has somebody who doesn't like them, who's mean to them, whatever. Could be family member or some other person. That is our karma. We did something wrong past life. But he's not. There was no one for him. He was so pious, so great. So generally a devotee, no one will go against him. Generally he'll not have enemies. Because even to Dina Hina Jatachilo, even the fallen, the 6 Goswamis, they were gentle to the ruffians and to the pious. What was it? Harina Nana Shastra Vicharane Nipano. Anyway, it said that they were very polite and nice both to the gentle and to the ruffian, the people who were gentle and pious and the other section of society. So in that way they were dear to everyone. Ajata Shatrava Shanta. Devotee are peaceful. We are not peaceful, we are disturbed. Why don't I have it? Why don't I have this position or this thing or this whatever? Shanta means we are peaceful. Whatever Krishna has endowed in us, we use that. We have certain qualities, certain kind of body, certain ability. We'll use that in service of Krishna. So that's it. And Shanta, therefore peaceful. Devotees are peaceful. No so many material desires. Shanta. Then Sadhu Bhushana. Sadhava, who can just guess what word Prabhupada gives translation for that word in Bhagavatam? Sadhava. What would be the translation? No, specifically he put some. It's quite shocking. Not shocking, surprising. No, that will be the next Sadhu Bhushana. Endowed with very nice qualities. So Sadhava, Prabhupada gives, follows Shastra. That's it. Follows Shastra. Sadhu. Sadhava, person who is sage, pious, means he follows Shastra. So Shastra has many guidelines in different aspects. So they consult Shastra for everything. For how to behave. They see through Shastra. One who doesn't accept Shastra is Pashandi, atheist. A person who is godly, first step is accept Vedas. Accept the Vedas. Follow the Vedas. Such a person is Sadhava. So these are qualities. And of course, Sadhu Bhushanaha. He's endowed with jewel-like qualities. So many nice qualities. Tolerance, patience, humility. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he was the High Court judge, he was one of the few, maybe the only Indian at that time, in that area, to take such a position. But when he wanted to leave and relocate, everyone, it's explained in the 7th Goswami book, which I think is mostly derived from his autobiography, that everyone was very upset, even the British, why you're leaving? He was very dear to everyone, that he's leaving, you stay. Really, people were persuading not to go. But he was a pure devotee, so very dear. So the qualities of a sadhu, these are the qualities. But at the same time, to actually understand a sadhu, you have to hear what is he speaking. Outwardly, anyone can put any dress. Unfortunately, even in our ISKCON movement, people can appear like devotee, but some of them, when they speak, still some more, you can say, understanding, realization of the position of a devotee has to be realized by them. How to, Of course, we are all not pure. We are still on the path. But by speaking. And it's mentioned here, Prabhupada explains, that the preacher, he will speak not to please people. He will speak to enlighten them in transcendental knowledge, not to please people. Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, it's here. But he's saying one should approach here. If one is not prepared to hear, there is no profit. Was a sadhu who could speak on transcendental. Yeah, here it is. Shukadeva Goswami was a sadhu who could speak on the transcendental activities of the Lord. He did not satisfy the whims of ordinary citizens. So a sadhu, it is said that we can only have one master. So if he says that I am a servant of Krishna, I am serving Krishna, what does Krishna want? Jiva should come back to him. Jiva should stop sinful activity. Jiva should not be materialistic. They should be Krishna conscious. So he will speak that. Why? We are representing Krishna. Hare Krishna. We are representing Krishna. We should speak on that platform. And people don't like, of course, we are not going to by force or by purposely annoy people. And then we have to speak the message in such a way that they don't switch off and go away. And then but polite but firm, we have to speak the message. We'll speak the message of Krishna because we are servant of Krishna. We are aspiring to be servants of Krishna. So what Krishna wants, we'll do that. But if we want to serve, if someone to serve their ego or their position or I should be liked, so then in that case they'll not speak to be for the benefit of the person or Krishna. That if we want to be liked, definitely we won't say something that the people won't like. But definitely when we speak spiritual instruction, people won't be happy, as we know from our 6th session. Because we are going to speak something, and people who are not devotees, they're following a materialistic way of life. Now we are giving them something different. But that's different from what I know. So there'll be a clash. And Prabhupada says, preaching means fighting. We won't purposely go and pick fight. But we have to be ready that they'll say, no, this is wrong. Or why are you saying this? Why are you speaking about death? Inauspicious. But Krishna wants that. Krishna wants in Bhagavad Gita that his principles should be communicated. So the sadhu will speak that. He'll speak to serve Krishna. And so he'll speak directly. And here, Shukadeva Goswami did not satisfy whims of ordinary persons. We can read in the 2nd canto, the first chapter, first few verses, is when Shukadeva Goswami starts to speak. So, what did he say? First text I can't recall. Second is Shrotavyadini Rajendra Ninam Santi Sahasrasha Apashyatam Atma Tattvam Griheshu Grihamedinam. Those who are not ready to speak on spiritual topics and to contemplate them, Griheshu Grihamedya, who have vowed to just enjoy in this life, Ninam Santi Sahasrasha, then they'll have many things to discuss. There'll be many, many things they'll speak about. Their mind will be on so many topics. Then after that, then he says that Deha Patakalatradishu Atma Sanyeshu Asatsvapi Tesham Pramato Nidhanam Pashanapi na Pashyati. He says that Deha Patya Kalatradishu Atma Sanyeshu Asatsvapi. That those Asatsvapi Tesham Pramato Nidhanam Pashan. Those who take shelter of things other than Krishna, for example, Deha, some take shelter of their body, that I have to have a very good body, I have to have muscles, or I have to have very good health, or very nice looking. They take shelter of their body, that if my body is okay, everything is okay. Deha, Patya, or relatives, or wife, They put a lot of emphasis on that and say that this should be okay. I should have a big family, a good family, my family should be happy, everything's okay. Or wife, kalatra, or adishu, or things related to home, and these things. They are patakalata adishu, atma sineshu asatsvapi. They have taken shelter of infallible soldiers. Like, if there's a war and you have soldiers to fight, that's good. If the soldiers are good, but here they have taken shelter of something temporary, which will not protect them. Tesham pramato nidhanam. And which inevitably will be destroyed. So they cannot save that they cannot take shelter of that from birth and death. So materialists, they take shelter of things in their life which will not help their spiritual advancement, like these things which we mentioned. So this is Shukadeva Goswami's opening line. He was asked to speak, and he started off by smashing everyone immediately. That Pashanapa mood saying that people, you cannot. Pashanapi na pashade. You can see, but you cannot see that these are temporary souls. Why are you taking shelter of things other than Krishna? Taking shelter of body and society, family, or adishu, things related like that. So he speaks like that, opening lines. But people are so renounced and serious that they sat down to hear. And now in the modern age, that people are, so, fragile, delicate, because of not a proper upbringing like before, difficult upbringing by parents. So people are very sensitive. They cannot tolerate things. And we try to give them some benefit. Someone tries to speak benefit, they get upset. So it's not so easy. Srila Prabhupada also, he was heavy, but in some circumstance he just saw that these people have come and he just spoke. He'll speak the truth, but in a nice way. He'll speak it. One trick he used to use is make people laugh at some scenarios. And really, they're laughing at themselves. I can't recall now, so many are there. He'll speak about that. Yeah, like the camel eating thorns. Or the donkey carrying heavy weight. He's like, how is that? The donkey is carrying heavy weight. The grass is everywhere. He's struggling for that. Everyone will laugh. But that is them. Or you're struggling so hard for food, struggling day, night, working so hard, doing different exams and trying to get in this college and that college, struggling hard. Why? To get a good high degree. Why? To get a big high flying job. Why? So I can get food. But the food is everywhere and you'll get it. It's assigned to you. When the person is born, the plants have been planted that the grain, which will give the grain that he's going to take. You don't know that. On each grain is written the name of the one who will eat it, as they say in one language. One is saying. So then everyone is laughing. But who are they laughing at? So there are different ways to make people understand the truth, and this is through one of them. So Shukadeva Goswami spoke on Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is knowledge in relation to the Supreme. Now we'll see, if you read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, knowledge in relation to Supreme means you have to point out things to people. That, okay, you want to know God. Okay, stop this, don't do this. Foolish. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? That's also part of it, as we see in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And Shukadeva Goswami, when he sat down to speak, it says here, he was recognized when he spoke on the Bhagavatam. So, depending on how people speak, we can understand. You can see the mind. I heard from one temple president that sometime when someone is little mental in the ashram, or devotee, even not any, a congregation or man, they'll make him give class. And then he'll speak his mind in the class. What is he thinking? What is he meditating on? What is the problem? They'll find out. Otherwise, if they ask him, they won't say. But when he speaks, everything in the mind comes out. Generally speaking also, anyone that speaks, whatever is in the mind, contemplating what we are reading, What incidents happened, we'll speak that. So in that way you can understand. So Shukadeva Goswami, when he spoke Bhagavatam, they could understand. This is a sadhu. Look at his mind. What a brilliant personality in terms of consciousness and realization. Look what he spoke. Great personality. And everyone sat, it's mentioned earlier in a few verses, with rapt attention. Rapt attention means, you know this word? Rapt. Without any diversion. Sometimes you're watching the class, someone is adjusting the camera, everyone looks at the camera. Some noise comes behind. You can't notice, but the speaker notices. Literally, there's 10 people in the room. There's some noise on the door. They'll turn. We are just speaking to the head of people. So anyway, we are conditioned soul. We are trying to get the taste. We are trying to awaken that. It's good that we are listening, even, that we have come. But these sages, they came for a purpose. They knew they were at a certain level. Shukadeva and Parikshit Maharaj was on a level that he came to understand the truth of God. So he will not even be deviated by things like eating, break time, water, nothing. That's a death, let me hear. Didn't think about eating, or of course he was fasting to death. And sages, they were advanced enough to know that this personality, Shukadeva Goswami, who he is, and let him speak, and by his features, it said they could tell. That was an advanced science. They could tell this advanced personality. Let's hear from him. They were seeking, so they were on that level. So they were with rapt attention. Let us hear. That was there. They were at the situation when they knew that we could get so much benefit. So let's get benefit from this, from hearing. And it said that he never attempted jugglery like a magician. He never attempted to speak. Some people speak in a certain way or certain voice that people hear. Then there is a certain kind of, so the people, Krishna came. Everyone is listening. Special, sound effect they'll do. Or they'll, make endeavor to crack some joke and laugh. And so he was not, it says here, he was not juggler, he's not attempted jugglery like a magician. But here specifically, jugglery means like what Mayavadis do. They'll take a word and juggle it this way and that way and this way, and it means this and that, I am God and you are God. It doesn't mean that. They juggle the words. They're good at that. Impersonalists. So here he said he didn't attempt that jugglery. Outwardly he appeared to be retarded and dumb, but in fact he was the most elevated transcendental personality. Yeah, outwardly he appeared to be like that. How could they tell? When they heard that Srimad Bhagavatam is coming from his mouth. So what a personality. And so somebody who could speak like that, who could, in society, they were greatly honored and valued. They were respected. Srila Prabhupada explains that at least in those early days here in India, the monks, sadhus, they didn't pay in the train. They could just enter the train and say, no one will say anything, or the bus. And it's still like that in Sri Lanka. I don't know, now there's some big economic collapse, things are different. But I heard that in Sri Lanka also, some devotees who went there. So it was like that in India. But then we fortunately got the modern education system that we had to properly adjust the society and take, see everyone equally. But actual wealth, we'll know this from Ramayana, that a person who's austere, learned, that story of Rishi Ashringa, that such a personality is very auspicious. Let him this person come in the kingdom, we'll get rain. Who's it? Dasharath Maharaja, who brought him. He brought him from he conspired to, his father.
His friend, Dasharath Maharaj's friend.
Brought him. Why? To bring rain in the kingdom. There is no rain, and because rain means everything is auspicious. Demigods are pleased because of people's sacrifice and austerity, so everything is okay, balanced. So when a personality is like that, it's auspicious, of course, for him, for that person, for everyone around, even that whole area. I heard from one person, he was loosely following some Madhva tradition. So he spoke, and I don't know if it's true, but he mentioned that generally we have some kind of influence around us, aura. And a sadhu, so a sannyasi who's very elevated, his effect and purifying effect is felt over a very large area, not only, like a devotee, a neophyte devotee also, he purifies his body. A very elevated devotee purifies his body, the whole surrounding area, and his families, as Prabhupada said, there's one, that is in Chanakya Niti, that just like a tree, a sandal tree, gives fragrance in the whole forest. So that way, when a Brahmin is born in a family or a devotee, he purifies the whole family. So that's the effect of a person. So a sannyasi, he purifies a huge area. He gave a specific figure, 2 kilometers, maybe. But the point is that it's so purifying. Such personalities. So it is interest of the king, of the ruler, to increase such people and to facilitate. Even when we hear some sadhu is come, we want to go and hear, be part of that, to get benefit. So it's in the interest of the ruler, of the people, of the family, of the father, of the house. Such people should come. People should hear from them. Family members or kingdom. The king, the citizens should hear from such personalities who are pure. They'll get auspiciousness. So people understood this, so they sat and heard Shukadeva Goswami that this opportunity is very rare, that such a person has come, he's speaking, and we'll hear and we'll get purified. And they were before that trying to find out what is the best way of purification, especially for Kali Yuga. So when he came, they took that opportunity. So that is proper sense. Now people don't understand. So it's not valued. Whether they value or not, we have to go out and preach and distribute books and speak to them. We'll do our duty. It's pleasing to Krishna. And we want to help them. They don't know how to be helped. So what can we do? By force, we'll help them. We'll tell them. Once in a Harinam, they said, Prabhupada, we were going in the Harinam, and when people were closing their ears. Then he said, okay, that is Asuri. They don't want to hear the holy name. Okay. He said, by force, you should open their ears. They should hear it. They should. It's all auspicious. Anything connected with Bhagavan, Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam. Any questions?
Some people say, while distributing, if we say that some methods like that, they are asking where is God, we are saying you practice, you will feel that later. Like that, if you are saying, then they will never accepting. Why? How they can also realize?
They won't accept. There's a process. You tell them just like you. Do you have intelligence? Yes. Show me. I want to see. I want to see. Where is it? You cannot see it.
Argument that way only we can.
You see, it's not.
How to make them also feel that.
How to make them feel that presence of God?
Yes,
But some people, as Prabhupada said, they're not sleeping, they're pretending to sleep. You notice, we notice in ashrams, not here, some places, that, wake up. They're pretending, then you cannot wake them up, But if they're really asleep, they'll wake up. So some people don't want to know God. They'll just want to put something. You should recognize them. But for benefit of people surrounding who are watching, you can say something philosophical. But you should understand, they don't want to know. You want to know God. Okay, I'm telling you the way. Listen to me. Follow this. If you want to see Mars, you have to know what is a telescope. You have to know what is a star, what is a sun. And so then you can see it. You need an instrument. You want to see God. You think that with these eyes you'll see God. You have to qualify. God is not cheap. Prabhupada would repeat many times. God is not cheap. That I want to see God. Who are you? You want to see God? I want to see Prime Minister. Why? Why should you see the Prime Minister? So like that, God is not cheap.
sometimes people also who worshiping God and some incident happens means suddenly they are living.
Yeah, because they didn't have deep realization. They accept God, everything's there, but something happened and then they stop accepting.
Father, how we go to again bring them back?
How to bring them back? Yeah, I like. Huh?
If atheist means they totally they won't accept God, but these kinds of people
They accepted and lost. Yeah, it could be at that time, at that place, they had questions. There was no one to answer. Actually, that's a good move that you're thinking about that. Devotees should think of this. You know, we meet people who are in ISKCON or stopped. In fact, a few days ago, while preaching to one boy, he said his brother was in ISKCON and he was not. So I told him, you find out why he left. He came back and told me, he left because of this question, this question. He said, Achintya Veda Tata means that you're a little bit Maya, we are like God. Why? That is one. Second, he said that ISKCON is only meant for fallen people, something like that. So then I answered him, I answered those questions, now go and tell him that. So now how to bring them back? Yeah, explain, ask them, why did you leave? Why didn't you accept God? They may say something, oh my son died or this or that. So then you explain them that this is actually, why you're looking at this life all in all, and what is this body and the relation of the body? We are eternal. So we can understand, also Bhagavad Gita explained here that anything that we do wrong, anything that happens in our life is due to our own actions in the past. Yeah, philosophically explain them. Try to explain them. They also will argue, they'll be having anger maybe, but be prepared, argue, explain them. That is a good idea, good thing to do. Yeah.
Usually in such theists or even atheists, their paradigm is completely different and they don't want to accept even our basis of explaining anything.
Our pramana.
That for instance...
Accepting Vedas.
For instance, we are saying these things, then their argument usually is that, I mean, it's not directly, but in the back, this is why they are not accepting it, because it is not brought through experimentation and peer reviews.
Epistemology. The epistemic system is wrong. The pramanic system.
So one atheist in my college, with whom I was giving, his idea was that it's not scientific because it is not... what is scientific has to be experimented and then peer reviewed. Peer reviewed is basically others try to prove it
critical,
wrong.
Yeah.
Try to prove it wrong and they find no way to do it. But it should be falsifiable also. Like there should be some scope.
Okay, so actually it is very common in Srila Prabhupada's books that he deals with this issue. Establishing pramana issue. That you say that, okay, you're going to, who will review you? Your brain? Are you perfect? And what if you review now and then later, no, it's wrong, someone fine. That is science. You have to prove someone is wrong and establish your theory. Very good, amazing, great scientist. And so it means the other one was a fool. And then what about you? Someone will cancel yours. Senses.
Their idea is that even they may say that we also what we are saying, even if they give some there is no scope for proving it right or wrong because it is not falsifiable. It's just not within our scope to grasp. We just accept it.
No, many things are not in our scope. What happens after death? We will not know. Who can know?
So for such things,
what will it do?
They're following like Krishnamurti's philosophy that we cannot know and we don't need to know. We are happy without knowing. Although they are not.
Okay, fine. First of all, we means who? All of us. They cannot know. This is agnostic philosophy. I spoke, that day. You were not there. We cannot know God. We is who? Don't include me. Sometime, someone will come. Does anyone need water? We don't need. I need water. Why you're saying? Someone is saying, we don't want. I want water. Why you're speaking for me? We cannot know God. You cannot know. Why you're speaking for me? I know God, so listen to me. I'll tell you. But we cannot know, you cannot know, I know, so listen now. But that is not God, but you don't know, so you cannot speak. Now, when I'm establishing my point, you cannot say anything. So, yeah, just notice one thing that Prabhupada answers everyone differently. Sometimes he doesn't bother to answer, he'll smash, sometimes he'll joke, because some people are a little strange. But this is valid. Okay, you can give this point, what I said. I'm in Prabhupada's books, he deals with all this. At a very beginning level in the small books.
Necessary.
Yeah, your teeny brain, your fertile brain. You want to work out and find out. Yeah, SSR also. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. Good.
And one more thing,
Yeah.
there are 4 sampradayas are there.
Yes.
And each and every sampradaya they are saying, means we are worshipping Radha Krishna. And then Madhura's Radha Rukmini, means Krishna Rukmini. Like that, they are saying, they means that, that kind of feature of Krishna is supreme, and we are saying this one is topmost, and Sri Krishna is saying that one is, and like that, why people are, it means they are accepting shastras, but everything is clearly mentioned that all the things in shastras, Krishna is supreme, Radha Krishna is topmost above. But after that also, why they are simply saying that is the topmost, and this one, Sri Sampradayas and so many Sampradayas.
Krishna has given different modes how to approach him, and he has taken different forms because jivas want to worship in this way. They are inclined to be in Aishwarya Bhav, they don't want to be into like this. So different sampradayas are there to give this knowledge for people to come to their destination, to Ayodhya, to Dwarka, Puri, whatever, Vaikuntha. And then in that way, according to their desire, they'll see that this is great, this, and they're happy. You know, what to speak of this? Even atheists. What does Krishna say? Samaya Yavathyadhya. No. That he says that those who ye api anya devata bhakta yajante shadayanvita tasya chalam shradham tameva vidadhamyam. Those who worship anyone other than me, I give them that faith. You know, people worship Sai Baba. He's a normal man. You think he's God. So where's that faith coming from? Strong faith. Krishna is giving it. He says, I give it. Even for the atheist. So anyway, that's extreme. Now even within Vaishnava, people prefer to worship different personalities. So even in Chaitanya Leela, Murari Gupta, he preferred to worship. So that is, path is given. And then they'll see that their shastras are there which will say this is best, this is like that. But we should know one thing, that it says about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Unatajwala Rasa. Unatajwala Rasa. That he brought the highest. Unata. He brought the highest. There is nothing higher. Because the personal life of Krishna is given. Personal feeling, personal associates, which are not even in Shastra. In Shastra they talk about Dham. They don't say Vrindavan. Mathura, Dwarka, Rameshwaram, Badrinath. They hardly, because Prabhupada said this is a personal thing. He's not going to reveal. So, yeah, why is it they see that as supreme? Because they want to follow a particular path. And the Shastra is given for them in that way. And we'll not argue with them. Let them follow all glories. They want to come back to out of material world and worship a form of Krishna. For our understanding, we know that Krishna is the original source. Bhagavatam says Bhagavatam is the highest. They don't agree, at least if they're worshipping Ram, Narasimha, Vishnu, all glories, please continue. All glories. If they want to inquire, we'll tell them, explain. That the highest text is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam in the first line is glorifying Krishna, that's it. It's established. And then again. Matirna Krishna parata satova mithora bibhatyate grhavrtana. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Krishna. Everyone prays to Krishna.
Okay, at what time approximately?
One more question. That in the class you mentioned that so much hard work you're doing, getting college degree, and so many things doing, and just for getting food proper.
Yes.
So food is there. So, but someone is who is having all these facilities, that is, for instance, his parents have all this, but usually when they get into these things is for prestige, social prestige. So, what to say to such people?
Where we recognize that the parents are making their children do this for prestige.
I mean, it's not that every person who is doing a degree or going for job.
Oh, they have to, so they can have prestige in society.
Yeah,
therefore,
not just for food, but
for prestige.
Yeah, for people appreciating them and not looking down upon them, because social structure.
Social structure. Well, just to quote, because I heard a lot from Prabhupada, what he said. He said, for example, that we are so careful to be looked up among people. But who are these people? Who are these people that we want to glorify and to see us as, who are they? What are they doing? What is their level? And an example is given, many times I use that, like we're walking in the street and dogs are barking. And we feel bad, oh man, this dog is barking. Why is he thinking badly of me? Why don't they like me? I should be likable to them. They're dogs. They're dogs, who cares? Let them bark. I'm not going to be feeling bad. Why don't people like me? So, some people, their ideals are so, low that they're going to glorify people with money and greed and lust and anger. So why do you want to be liked by them? Why? What's the point? Why shall I ruin my life, my time, my energy to be liked by these people? I have nothing against them. I want to help them. But I'm not going to now start to conform to them. And if you realize the truth, just like Prabhupada's teaching exposed that even within family sometimes, there is a kind of selfishness. Not that we are taking care of our child, but we want our benefit, which they learn for us and so many things. Or, he should get a good position, so we'll get prestige. So then, why we have to follow that, Better to follow teachers, spiritual teachers, gurus, acharyas. We know that these people are free from lust, and whatever they're speaking is for our benefit. And it may look like it's different from all that, but better we try to please them and they like us, then we'll get liked by Krishna. So yes, people do that for prestige, that okay, in society you should be respected. But, it's not, why we have, how many years do we have in our life? Better we get liberated and leave this place than to please this and this and this person and then take birth again. That's the logic.
No, in this verse, like Prabhupada is mentioning, Sadhu is known by hearing.
Yes.
But after hearing, we use our intelligence to judge. When intelligence is contaminated, what to do?
Well, if you're outright in tamogun, that's a problem. That's a big problem. It says one who's tamasic, he thinks dharma to be adharma and adharma to be dharma. Then what can you do? It's not that Prabhupada even said like this movement, it's not meant for everyone. There are a certain class who just, you can't come. They'll get very envious even if you try to approach. Certain, we have to know some level. Just like if you're going to buy a diamond, you should understand what's a diamond. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. You lose a lot of money. You heard recently, you didn't anyway, recently in some state in Northwest, and I won't be very specific, some tourists from a certain country in the West came and paid some crores for jewelry worth 300 rupees. So you have to understand what you want, first of all. Something should be there, what is a sadhu, what is spiritual topics. Otherwise it's going to be a problem.
How is that knowledge coming?
How is that coming? That is, person really wants to know God, really, then you should make some effort to search out Shastra, try to discern, come to some level, Just like if you want to buy something, an intelligent person, really if you want, you'll do investigation, find out, speak to this person, I bought it, is it good, are you using? No, it's not, okay, forget it. And then what does this say? Oh, this review says something good, or like that.
Everything comes up to these limited senses. Whatever we acquire.
Yeah, but some level they should be. For example, when a sadhu comes, even a lowest person can, this person is so sense controlled, he doesn't have anger, doesn't have lust, he doesn't do sense gratification. He's not just seeking after women and money. At some level they can see. That people come, when some of our ISKCON sannyasis walk through cities or airports and everyone realizes, oh, this elevated person. Sometimes it's wrong, but that will come. Just like example, when two people want to get married, used to be like that. They'll do such a background check to check. 6, 7 generations back they'll check. They'll ask the neighbor, they'll ask everyone because it's a very serious thing. This is also serious. Do your research. Don't be cheated by some God man. They call it God man. A man God. God man, yeah. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, we were meant to have a services meeting, so I ended early. And then, but okay, good questions.